You talked about it. You said the first round hinges on what the 49ers do and who they choose. Now, before I ask you who that's going to be, there's been speculation after Kyle Shanahan's press conference the other day that they moved up with no idea who they were going to draft, right? It was all five guys were very capable. We know Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson are going 1 and 2. That's been highly debated and been put to rest a while ago. It's between three guys. And they knew who they loved when they moved up. If they didn't, then that's a dysfunctional organization. If you're going to make that much movement, that many waves in a decision to move up and draft that high, you know who you love and who you're going to draft. So they know, and they've known for a while. What do we know? Who do they draft tonight, 3rd overall?
You're right that they had a very good idea at the time they made the move who they would be comfortable taking. Mac Jones from Alabama, from everything I understand, was the guy who was the easiest fit into their offense because he is a quick processor, he is accurate. Those are the two traits Kyle Shanahan looks for more than anything else. And Alabama runs a variation of the same system. So much like Zach Wilson, who we believe is going to be, most likely, even though, of course, we can't tip picks, but every expectation is that he'd be the Jets pick at number 2. He also ran a variation of that same offense at BYU. It's much easier to project what quarterbacks are going to be, as you know well, Ryan, if you've seen them on tape making all the throws and doing all the things you're going to ask them to do in the NFL. But because the 49ers made that trade as early as they did, they had a chance to go in, see Justin Fields live, see Trey Lance live, get to know those guys, do Zooms with them. And it certainly sounds, in Trey Lance's case in particular, as if he was very impressive, which is not surprising. Of all the quarterbacks, all the players in this entire draft, there is nobody, based upon all the conversations I've had with coaches, with general managers, with scouts, who grades out higher in terms of the intangibles and the overall makeup than Trey Lance. Trevor Lawrence, we've watched for 3 years. Everybody knows what he is. He has everything, checks every box as well. And that's not to downgrade Lawrence or any other quarterback in the draft. But there are rare qualities with Trey Lance that the 49ers are not the only team intrigued by. Very early in the process, everything I heard from scouts was, watch this guy rise through the process, because whatever you see in terms of holes on tape, and a big one for coaches is Trey Lance's accuracy, especially if you started, and the first exposure was that Central Arkansas game where he did not play well. He did not throw the ball well. But the more time you spent with him, from an intelligence, football IQ, work ethic, drive, all those things, everything lines up with Trey Lance, where, as one college scouting director put it to me, who just said it was brutal watching that tape, but he goes, whatever his ceiling is, he's going to get there. So it's the difference between, with Mac Jones, betting on the high floor, low ceiling. You know what he is. He's the most pro-ready, according to teams. Or do you bet on the potential low floor but potential high ceiling with a Trey Lance? And those are big-time organizational decisions that I don't blame any team for going through every single step of the process and figuring out whether or not you've got the right guy.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.